Once in love with Amy.
Hey everybody, well I just want to first thank everybody who's been making comments because yeah, it seems like there's a big consensus that it may not automatically be the transmission. I shouldn't assume that, and that it sounds that it could also possibly be a fuel issue. And also there seems to be a lot of comments about there could be like a damper plate which is between the transmission and the engine. So I'm not going to rush out and buy a new transmission. What I am going to do now is look into the fuel system. And the fuel system at this point has three parts. One is the direct fuel filter that comes out of the diesel tank that takes the water out. Then there's also the fuel pump. It's not an electric pump, it's a manual pump. And then of course the regular fuel filter. So it's time to look at those. So let's see if it's the fuel system. As part of the troubleshooting process to determine why we're losing power at 2100 RPMs, it's time to change the oil filter. Someone had said that sometimes if this oil filter is not changed or frequently, it can build up some stuff in it which can slow the flow of fuel. Did I say oil filter again? I keep saying oil filter when I mean fuel filter. So we take off this Fram fuel filter and it's really kind of a messy operation. One of my friends on the owners group said you can get a new kind of spin-on type of filter, which makes it a lot less messy. So I would definitely be interested in that. One of the reasons last time it took us so long to bleed the engine after we changed the oil is, why do I keep saying oil instead of fuel? Anyway, we didn't add fuel to the fuel filter. So it took us a long time to bleed it. So I added fuel to the fuel filter. It's really messy. And then we installed it.
I mean, do you think till we can't make it go anymore? Or that's
it's good.
Yeah, okay.
It's good, nice and tight.
Okay.
But we noticed a little bit of time later that there was fuel pouring out of the filter. The seal wasn't right. Just as an aside, this Fram filter worked great, and when I went to order it on Amazon, some of the reviewers said that the new Fram filter that they received was white, not orange, and that it said made in China, and that it actually didn't fit, and they were wondering whether it was a Chinese knockoff or some fake filter, but I bought this one at a local AutoZone. There does seem to be a problem with the seal. Actually, I found a gasket that was in one of the other fuel filters, so I put that in. It was a real mess. But got the new one on and it was all squared away. So many of the folks that I've spoken to have said this is probably a fuel filter that you're losing power. So this is the first water separator filter that comes from the fuel tank. And it's an old one and I'm not even sure how it works. However, about 2 years ago, I had purchased a really nice Raycor fuel filter water separator, but it was never installed. So if any of you know of a trustworthy mechanic in the Charleston, South Carolina area, I do need to get this installed because I think this would really, really help. If it is a fuel issue, then a filter like this needs to be installed, and I have it, so why not use it? I only haven't installed it so far because everything's been fine. Also, as part of this process, I have changed the air filter. It is a metal filter, so it doesn't need to be replaced, just it needs to be cleaned regularly. So I cleaned it, put it back on, and now we're moving forward. Well, we just changed the fuel filter. Unfortunately, had not been changed for a long time. I'm thinking that maybe this is part of the problem. You know, I've been really good with changing the oil and the transmission fluid and the coolant and adding additives to the fuel tank and all that kind of stuff. Good maintenance on fluids. But for some reason, and we do have a log that, long story short, I forgot to change the oil filter. The main oil filter has not been changed in 2 years and like 3 months. So it's changed now, and I'm hoping that was the problem. Well, whenever you change the fuel filter, you have to bleed the engine. Down below, there's a link that shows exactly how to bleed our particular engine. It's a BMC 1.5 liter, and it's a marinized version, which is what we have, which is called a ThornyCroft T-90. So as you can see, if you watch that video, it's kind of a pain in the neck, bit of a process to bleed this engine. You have to start by first using this manual pump, and then you can switch over to bleeding the fuel injectors. So to get the air out up to a certain point, we're going to give it a try. This is the first time we've ever done it. But we were not able to successfully bleed the engine and to turn it over. So we're going to go back to it today, and our goal is to then take the boat out, do the rest of the tests, so that we can get things squared away, because we want to leave just in probably about 4 or 5 days to head south. If you want to get the updates, I will be publishing these videos more often now as we work through these problems. All you have to do is go to your main homepage on YouTube and just click that bell. That bell will then automatically, every time we post a video, you'll get a notice in your emails that there's a new one up, and we're going to be posting them a lot more often until we really can get cruising south. Hey everybody, well here's a quick update on my weight loss process. I started the keto diet on January 1st, and within about 2 days I went into ketosis. Everything was good 2, 3, 4 days, and I really got some bad headaches and real fatigue, but stayed on it, and took some potassium supplements, and after a couple days of headachy, as soon as I took the potassium, it went away. And so now it's been 9 days, and I've just not been hungry. And naturally, I'm eating like a lot less calories than I was before. And my carbs are like, I'm 15 grams of carbs a day. But eating lots of great food, fish and avocados and salads and pecans. And it's been really great. I'm kind of surprised. And I haven't had any cravings for my normal, I just always loved anything sugary, sugary drinks and beer. I haven't had any craving for beer or soda or juice even. It's pretty amazing. And I actually feel a lot better. I've noticed that my mood is like a lot more stable. So I'm pretty excited. So it's 9 days. I'm continuing. I'm on the keto diet, doing well. And I appreciate all you that have been sending encouragements. And it's working.